So hello guys, welcome back to a new session. This is Raftar here, and in this session we are going to discuss about the paint types and related defects. So paint types in generally we'll discuss about the paint whatever we are using in India. It's available right now in India, and this knowledge what I'm going to share with you people today, it's actually based on my own experience. I hope that you would like this video, and guys I have request to all of you, please like and subscribe the video. And whatever knowledge I'm going to share with you today, it could be a bit I think it might really helpful for you guys, even for new guys who are not aware about the paint and its defect. So let's begin with the topic. And one more thing, like if you guys have any kind of comment, any kind of video you want on particular topic, you can suggest to me in a comment box. I'll try to make a video on that. So let's begin with the topic. So as you know that whoever guys have gone through my videos, they might be having a introduction about paint. So already we have discussed about paint in more, but today I am going to discuss a little bit about paint. So paint is a solution of a pigment, in a water, oil or organic solvent, and used to cover wood, metal articles and any kind of surface to protect and give a appearance, means give an aesthetic look that give you very pleasure for your eyes. Then there could be a different types of surface, different types of paint used for different types of uh, companies. So there are some leading companies in our India market and as well as in Asia. One is Asian Paint, then Nerolac, then Berger, Nippon Paint. So these are very famous paint companies, and these products you can get at every paint shop. So moving to next, so here paint. So here I classified paint. So paint, it could be interior paint, like interior, like in our home we use paint for interior walls, like it could be wall paint. So in wall paint generally we use distemper, luster, enamel, then emulsion. Then in metal paint we use enamel paint generally, and for wood generally we use for wood finish. So in exterior view generally emulsions, textured and cement paint. So each about paint we'll discuss in next slide. So no need to get worried what is this and what is this. So I'll try to explain about each paint and its properties and application area where we can apply the paint. So types of paint. So now we are going to discuss types of paint, so please guys focus on the topic. So first one is our oil paint. So you know that what's the definition of oil paint. This oil paint are used for painting wooden and metallic surfaces generally. So in these paints actually various oil like linseed oil, poppy oil and castor oil it is are used as a carrier. Means in this paint generally as a solvent carrier, nothing like a solvent. So as a solvent we use linseed oil, poppy oil and castor oil. And whatever areas where we can use or apply the oil paint. So oil paint is used in finishing and production of wood and in buildings. Means whatever like high luxury buildings we use to protect wood, this kind of paint. And due to its slow drying properties, it has recently been used in paint on glass animation as well. Means it's like oil based paint having a very slow drying properties, so you can use on gloss animation uh, product, this product as well. Then about synthetic paint. So these paints actually set very quickly and offering durability. So means they can set on a wall or any kind of substrate very quickly and gives a very best durability. For example, here I took a Vettal paint. This is a synthetic enamel which generally used for Australian homes. and they also have a better flow and easier to apply. Better flow means it's a very better uh, you can better way you can apply on the substrate. Then drying is by evaporation of the solvent. So it's enamel based means having solvent, so it will dry after the evaporation of solvent in the change of chemical reaction. Then what are the areas where we can apply this synthetic paints? So it is generally applied on surfaces which may not be completely dry. For example, a fresh concrete surface you can apply these kind of paints. Then emulsion paint. Emulsion, this is our waste and eco-friendly paint, like water waste paint you can say. So these paints are found by mixing oil or water and emulsifying agent to prevent the combination separating. Means you know that we are having different kinds of ingredients our paint can. So to just emulsifying all the agent, we use some emulsifying agent to control the prevention or sedimentation of the pigment particles. And it's a totally water based, means as a solvent we use water or oil. So these paints are washable and have a greater overall decorative appeal. So generally for home paints, these products are very recommended, very good and non-toxic, eco-friendly product. So as per requirements, both interior and exterior emulsion paints are exist. Means nowadays you can have a both uh, for interior as well as for exterior in emulsion paints are available in the market right now. So they gives a very good aesthetic look as well and very eco-friendly coating. And application of emulsion paints means whatever areas we can apply this paint. So emulsion paints are used to paint interior walls, ceilings and exterior walls and facades. So these are areas and other areas as well, like uh, concrete and other things like the masonry. On that you can also apply this kind of product. So you know this is our Asian paint product, tractor emulsion. So it's very easy to apply on chairs and everything, means on board. Then enamel paint. So enamel paint is nothing like solvent with paint you can say. Also enamels, they are very, you know, they are very hard and washable and usually gloss paint. So you know generally automotive sectors we use enamel paints to get a perfect gloss and a hard finish that could protect the substrate from exterior environment. And they can be oil based as well, and generally resins what we use generally alkyd based or polyurethane based, and you know they could be based on a thermostatic acrylic resin. So whatever areas, application areas, we can use this kind of paints. So the enamel paints, you know that can be used on metal substrate, and they give a very aesthetic and very protective look to the metals. And they can also use for interior walls as well, and wooden surfaces. So these are the substrate where you can use these kinds of paints, but these are especially for automotive sectors on metal substrate. So this is a one product here. They mention I mentioned like Dulox. So this is super enamel. It's very oil based paint and gives a very aesthetic and very protective properties to the substrate. Then cement paint. So you guys might be having a question, what is cement paint? So you know that this paint actually consists of white cement, means nothing, and it pigment accelerators as well, pigment and accelerators and other some kind of it is whatever other paint having, but it's available in dry powder form. So it's in dry powder form. So and whatever areas you can and actually it's a very not too much costly. It's cheap paint. Application of cement paints, you can just, it is used for painting exterior walls mainly, surfaces mainly for preventing water penetration and reduction of dirt collection. You know in exterior, after applying the paint, after 1 year or after 6 months, you can see that there are a lot of dirt has collected on the substrate. So this kind of prevent this kind of product uh, gives a very good prevention of from water penetration as well as dust or dirt collection on the substrate. So it is suitable for coatings like mainly for concrete as well as for decorative indoor or outdoor walls. Means you can apply outdoor and indoor walls as well with the concrete substrate. Now coming on aluminum paint, so this paints could be a new type for you guys because you haven't heard this kind of paint earlier. So I'll tell you what is this paint. So the very finely ground aluminum finer is suspended in either quick drying split varnishes or slow drying oil varnish. Means in this paint, aluminum particles, very fine aluminum particles, they will suspended in a quick drying spirit varnishes or slow drying oil varnishes. So it looks generally like a metallic paint, like lacquer. It gives a very very sparkles and glittery, some kind of shimmery look that gives a very bright look to your walls. So this paint is visible in darkness as well because of its brightness and uh, shimmery and glittery like structure. Then application of aluminum paint, so it can also be used for fine interior work like in your children's room and in your bathrooms, like mirror areas, so including furnishing and on surface of metals as well. And the aluminum paint is badly used for painting gas tanks, hot water pipes and radiators, because it gives a very protective layer to the substrate. Now coming on plastic paint, so it is a water-based paint which contains plastics, and this paint is durable and can be washed easily, and this can be easily applied on the plastered walls as well. And plastic paints are used whenever high class work is required. Means once you require high class work, then you can use this kind of product, such as sophisticated buildings and showrooms and theaters and auditoriums. So generally on these kind of such as areas, you can use this plastic paint to give a very very protective layer, a very durable finish to the substrate. Then, what are the characteristics of a good paint? Means if you are going to select any kind of paint, then you have to characterize that paint on the basis of the characteristics, some of good properties or some of bad properties. So on that you can just select a product. So it should give a thin and uniform coating, and it should be hard and durable on drying. Means after the drying it should be provide a very hard and durable finish to the substrate, and the painted substrate should not crack on drying. Means it should be long durable after the drying. And once you will get the finish, there could be any kind of exterior environment, so it should prevent the environmental effect on the substrate. Then it should be resist bathing and corrosive actions. Like bathing means heat, moisture and different kind of climate, and corrosion action means if you are applying the metal that paint on metal substrate, then really it should be protect from the corrosion. And it should be water repellent except water paint. Means there's no water penetration should be through the paint on the substrate. And it should have a good spread, means coverage. Means it should be a maximum having 350 or square per gallon, so something like coverage should be there. And it should have good adhesive power. Adhesive power means adhesion, nothing, so between the substrate and your paint. If you will have this kind of adhesive power, you will get a very good adhesion, and all the properties, all the uh, properties what you need from the paint you will get because of the adhesion. And it should give a good finish with attractive color, design and appearance as well. Then the colors should be fast and permanent. It should not be fade because of the environment, because of the time. So it should be permanent to give you aesthetic look. So these are the characteristics should be in a good paint. uh, then what now we'll discuss about the defects in paint. Which kind of defect can be generated during application or after drying the paint or after long term. So first one is a bleeding. Bleeding means it's a discoloration of paint film due to the pigment seeping to the surface from undercoats or gum from notes or timbers. So in this case, actually what happened, the colored pigment can be bleed from the substrate, so it calls bleeding, and your color can be changed. Then blistering actually, so in this figure you can see it happens like that. Then blistering means formation of small areas of swelling on the surface caused by painting in the direct heat of the sun and from trapped moisture seeping through to the surface or from corrosion side. So actually blistering can happen once you like any kind of moisture has penetrated through the substrate, through the paint to the substrate, or any kind of air or sunlight. So in these cases blistering can happen in your paint film. Then blooming, so it is the mistiness which can appear on varnished or highly glossed surfaces. So it is due to the presence of moisture, means some kind of moisture is there that the film will look like this, so it calls blooming. And drought, after drawing the frost during application or condensation or newly painted areas, remedies to repaint. Mass, if you are going to apply the paint in any environment, like there is any frosting, means during application, means like ice falling, then this moisture will be there on the substrate, so you can face these kind of problems, that calls blooming. Then chalking actually it is the swaying powdering of a paint film usually on exposed outside surface. It is a sign that retaining is necessary and may be due to poor quality of paint. Means after the long time of paint, you sometimes we touch the exterior paint and you can feel that yeah, paint is there on your fingers, so it causes chalking. It can happen because of the long time sunlight can in the presence of sunlight your resin bonds can crack and your pigment and extenders can chalk from the coating. So because of that it may happen. Then seizing, so it's the sinkage of a paint film usually in a quite small but sometimes large area. It is often due to a greasy undercoat or like a key between coats. So seizing can be happen, so it's a small sinkage, like if you are going to apply paint on a non pre-treatment surface, like if any kind of contamination is over there like grease and kind of oil, then your paint might be sprayed over the substrate, so you can face these kind of seizing problems. So to remove that problem, to solve that problem, you have to clean your substrate properly before applying the paint. Then cracking, so it start as a fine hair cracks and may turn to flaking. It can be due to lack of elasticity in the finishing coat. So once we apply the paint over substrate, so after long duration you can feel the cracking. So it could be happen because of less elasticity in your final coat generally this body depends on the resin system. So if resin is very hard, then and having more TGO, then it could be uh, happen cracking. And if it is a cross-linking binder, then again it can happen. Then to reduce that, you can increase the amount of plasticizer that will gives an elasticity to your coating, and it will really protect from cracking. The wrinkling, it is due to incorrect application and excess of paint which forms runs or surfaces remedies to rub down and start again. So it's a wrinkling like it can happen because of a incorrect application, and once we apply some kind of excess paints, then which runs from like a uh, from the surface, so it could happen because of the incorrect application. So to improve that, you should apply the paint by correct way. You should check the pattern of application. You should confirm the pressure and the gun paint pressure and gun air pressure as well. And then brush marks, so this may be due to the paint being too stiff by poor workmanship by brushing over paint which has partially set. So it could be happen because if you are not having good labeling in your paint, then during the application of paint with the brush you can feel. And once if you have applied first coat on the substrate, and after fully drying you are going to apply second coat, then you can feel this kind of brush marks as well. So thank you guys, I hope that this could be a good session for you and you can just go through with each and individual topics. It could be really helpful for you. If you like the video, please subscribe our channel and share with your friends. And if you have any question in your mind, you can comment on the comment box. You can send a comment. And if you want any a particular video on a particular topic, you can just tell me. I really try to solve that, and I really try to help you. So thank you guys.